I'm Jonathan Doyle. I work here in RTE as a radio researcher, which means I sit here for hours every day and I type on my computer. But when I finish work, I get up, I get in my car, I go home and I sit in my shed for hours every day because I'm also the British and world over 40s indoor rowing champion, which means I can row 2 kilometres in just under 6.5 minutes, which isn't too bad for a skinny alpha who's never been on a boat. This is a Concept 2 ergometer. This is an old one, as you can see. They're pretty much all the same. You strap your feet into these, you grab the handle and you pull, and this tells you how fast you're going. In races they connect them up, 20, 30 of them, a couple of hundred in Britain a couple of years ago in Birmingham. Connect them all up and race them. Because you're racing and you're not moving, it's all about the screen and it's all about knowing where you are in relation to everybody else. You know that because the race software tells you where you are, tells you who is ahead of you, who's winning the race and who's directly behind you in terms of meters, virtual meters. The people who are watching the race know where you are because there's a huge kind of graphic behind a blue screen with little yellow boats showing where everybody is in relation to everybody else. It's kind of like a little race. It is actually more exciting than it sounds.
And indeed, Doyle on lane 8 is now commanding. He's got 250 meters to go, and he is laying down that hammer.
It's one of the hardest things to do, is to put 2,000 meters on a machine, on the screen there, and row for 2,000 meters it's horrific. You hit oxygen dead almost instantly. And, you know, depending on how quick or how slow you are, between 6, 7, some people do 8 minutes. And you're in absolute agony for the whole thing. They call it the dreaded erg test. You do mentally have to kind of condition yourself to thinking that you're in this room, looking at this for half an hour. There's no movement, there's nothing going on at all anywhere else. So you're not like when you're cycling, you go through hills and roads and there's traffic lights, and running's the same. You're running around and there's little bumps in the road and all that kind of stuff. Every stroke you take is the exact same difficulty as the last one you took. It gets kind of metronomic, so you kind of see this thing, the numbers come up on the screen and you try and make this, you know, every stroke you have a particular target for every stroke and you try and hold that pace. It's not for everybody. No, my wife will probably say different, but I don't think it impacts time-wise an awful lot.
And then he'll come in and he'll be sitting there in the evening. What are you doing? And he'll have his little black book with all his little calculations in it. And then about half an hour later, he'll be on his tablet. And he'll be talking to his rowing world and blogging. So yes, there's the blogging about it, the writing it down, and the very obsessive about it, I suppose.
What started out as an incredibly tight race through the 1,000 has now got clear separation. Doyle first, Paula second, Diallo third.
It is amazing, and when we watched his World Championship from this kitchen table on iPads, where we streamed it live, and Sam was there, standing behind you, you're very excited. Sam was so excited he cried, burst into tears. I don't think he'll regret. I'm sure he'll look at the shiny medals and the thing and always be proud of that. And I think you are, and you look back, and you'll look back on yourself when you're 70 and you go, and you looked fantastic, and I'm sure you'd be delighted about all those kind of things. And in terms of the time in the day-to-day, yes, it is actually pretty efficient, the way training goes. But time with young kids is so short. And I think in 4 years' time, which is nothing, 4 or 5 years' time, when the boys are getting teeny, and they won't give a crap whether we pick them up or not, and they'll be happier to be with their mates, he'll go, oh, do you know what I mean? They don't want to see me. But then again, he says, oh, I won't regret it, and he won't.
When you put yourself through an awful lot of pain and all that kind of stuff, I don't know, it's something very satisfying about it. It's an endorphin rush, really.
The thing is, it's all about him. It is entirely, he's not doing this for anybody else. And that's fair enough, and that's a wonderful ability of men to be so self-centered, but it's really about him.
fuck.